Happy spring, gardeners. Andrew Williams, Town of Truro. I'm the Community Garden Coordinator for the King Street Community Garden and the Chuck Maxwell Park Community Garden. Unfortunately, in these crazy times we're living in due to the COVID-19 pandemic, our municipal community gardens will remain closed to the public until such time as the provincial state of emergency is lifted and social distancing requirements are eased, which is very unfortunate because one of the potential side effects of this global disease is potential disruptions to the food supply chain, and being able to grow some healthy produce at home may be more important than ever going forward. So we thought we would put together a little series for interested gardeners who might want to take up container gardening at home and still be able to produce some healthy produce at home in minimal space and garden this season and beat the bug. So to start out, we're going to do this as a series, and this initial series we're going to talk about getting started containers. What can you use to grow your vegetables in, your fruits and vegetables? And the answer to that's quite easy. Pretty much anything. Pretty much anything you can use to hold soil, you can use for container gardening or raised bed gardening. And I have a few examples for you here today. Starting off with a very small 6-liter planting pot, commonly available at most garden centers when you're buying nursery bedding plants. And this is fairly small, but I have successfully in pots this size grown individual cauliflower, broccoli, and cabbage plants. And they work quite well for that. And actually I have some photographs of my container gardening using pots this size that we can show you a little bit later. And again, these are just all containers that you can find anywhere. Just another larger 2-gallon type planting pot. Handy dandy 5-gallon bucket. Those are quite easy to come upon. Another plant pot. Another common ornamental plant pot for house plants. Milk crate. It's short, it's full of holes, but that's still going to contain potting soil and stuff like that. It's definitely going to allow moisture to, you're not going to overwater your root systems in a container like that. And still, it's got handles on it for moving around. That can still be used. Kitty litter container. Recycles bin. Now, for larger plants, say an indeterminate tomato plant, or if you want to plant like a big patch of peas or beans, you might want to go for larger pots to allow for larger root systems, better top growth, and more produce at the end of the season. And you can go with something like a larger pot like this. This is the size pot I use at home for growing my indeterminate or my vining tomato plants in. I grow one tomato plant in each pot, and I have typically in any given season 10 to 12 different heritage variety indeterminate tomato plants that I grow in these, and they do very well. And it's just your old roughneck container. You can use that. In addition to these things, you can go even lower tech, lower price. You can make a container using wood or logs from around your house and just use it to form a perimeter to hold some soil in. If you've ever gone down to the community gardens in Halifax, the Common Roots Urban Farm, a lot of the beds down there, they were simply using old recycled bricks from construction and demolition as edging just to contain their soil. And you can also use existing flower beds that you have at home. Maybe as opposed to planting ornamental flowers, maybe add a couple of small tomato plants or some herbs for a herb garden or something like that. Just anywhere so you can get some soil and some sunlight, you can grow plants. Something that some other people don't think about, shopping bags. Work perfectly well. They'll contain the soil, they'll allow the water out, they'll hold their form. You want preferably one with a flat bottom like this, so that it'll sit upright. But I've seen people grow stuff in a common plastic garden bag or shopping bag, just filling it with potting soil, putting some holes in the bottom. It'll hold somewhat of a shape, planting a transplant or some seeds in there, and you can grow food in that on your patio or beside your driveway or in any sunny little nook that you may have. And then if you have a little if you're a little more interested in getting into it, there's nothing to prevent you from building a raised bed at home like these ones here at the King Street Community Garden that we've built. At my home, I initially started with a container garden using lots of pots of various sizes like these. I grew in that for a couple of years, and then I ended up building boxes like this at my home as well. And I want to tell you, you can get an amazing amount of produce out of a fairly small space. At my house, I have 4 of these boxes that are 4 feet wide by 14 feet long, and 2 that are 4 by 8. And we're still eating produce out of the freezer from last gardening season, and we didn't even have that great a harvest last year. All right, you've done some scavenging around your home and you found some containers that are suitable for container gardening. Now, how are we going to fill them? Well, there's all kinds of options for filling your pots. I would probably discourage you from going out and digging up some soil from your yard, because I suspect it's probably not the best quality soil. It's probably quite heavy and missing in organic content. But in these pots, and using soil like this ensures good drainage, you can buy bags of ProMix or potting soil at any local hardware store or garden center and use that. I would, when I do it, I typically do my pots, I do a blend of about 60% potting soil and about 40% compost, organic compost. And you can either buy that bagged at the hardware store, or if you have option to buy it from a farmer in bulk, buy it that way, it's much cheaper. If you're gonna go a more ambitious route and build boxes like these, you're obviously gonna need a lot more soil, and we'll flash a picture up on the screen here. You can just order a load of topsoil. The stuff I use, it's called garden soil. It's a blend of screen topsoil with 30% organic compost for good healthy organic matter, provides nutrients and lightens up the soil, and it's grown really good vegetables at my home. And then a little elbow grease and some wheelbarrow and shovel work, and you're in business. Then we'll be ready to plant.